Yeah, man. So if you just want to like give the listeners like a quick lowdown on like who you are, I guess, and like how you got involved with like the NFT space.
Okay, so yeah, well, there is a lot to it that naturally came. Well, I was in crypto for a long time, so I was aware of crypto. I was having crypto, I was buying and selling it for I would say since 2018. But then in 2020, I started to be like more into it, and then I saw the NFTs. And at first I actually wanted to build the drop shipping business and just scale. But then I was like, hey, I don't want to be selling the same stuff that like all these people sell. Instead of that, I really wanted to build a brand, but I had no idea at the moment. So I was like, okay, I'm a stoner and I'm born in Chinese Year of Tiger. So what do we do with that information? So yeah, and here are the Stone Tigers. They've been created by that simple idea. And then I joined the space on Twitter in general the 1st August. It's been my first day ever. I quit the job basically.
Yeah.
And since that time, it's been already over a year, and I have over 13,000 followers on my Twitter account, and it's just keep going nuts every single day. But yeah, that wasn't always the case. But I was on Twitter every single day, all this time, and you know, yeah, I got because it was fun because I saw it just going. It was a natural shift, and then I stayed because it is fun. So that's how I got
Uh-huh.
in.
That's awesome, man. So basically you got into crypto or NFTs through crypto, through buying
Yeah,
crypto.
I mean,
And
it
then
was very natural shift because yeah, you're like, okay, so that's how I can use crypto. Okay, I not only can trade it, but I can do this stuff, which was mind blowing. And
oh
yeah, I
fuck
thought
yeah,
like,
man.
yo, that have a lot of potential. And since then, I already see that things been implemented heavily. So I mean, this is just the beginning. 5 years from now, it's gonna be very beautiful.
Oh, for sure. And I think that's kind of like how I got into it too, because I was first into crypto and then I was like, well, what do you do? Like, okay, you have the crypto, you hold the crypto, but what else is there to this? And that's awesome that you discovered that NFTs are like a really good use case for like just blockchain technology and the potential of blockchain and Web3 and NFTs. So, um, when so when did you actually decide to like go all in on Web3? Like when were you like, yo, like this is what I'm doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it was September, I would say. It was like, well, it started already a little bit in August, but I was kind of still trying to understand what exactly I'm doing. And then in September, I start to be doing like everything. I start developing a website. I went and I learned the development stuff. I joined the Twitter like to vibe with other developers. I've met firstly developers because I'm a dev. I
Hmm.
mean, that's what I've done. And yeah, since then I was like, well, I don't want to be working as a developer. I have no experience, so I want to try stuff and see how it goes and build kind of appreciation of my name, which I've done now. I mean, it was a year ago, so it's been a journey. Yeah, um, that's pretty much how I went all in. I mean, it's just I decided to do just that and nothing else, and I see how from here I can expand it to the many different things. There is way more, down the road than what we already done and what's gonna come, but Stone Tigers originally wasn't an idea of just an NFT project, it was a brand, which I opened the company actually already a long time ago, kind of. So we have a Stone Tiger as a company, as a brand, as a partnership limited, but in Estonia it's called it's the same as partnership limited in the US.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, and this is another cool thing, which I don't get to speak more often, but I originally had an idea that this got to be a brand, and now we still not yet form it. We formed the community, we formed the NFT project, and now we are heading to actually branding the other things because people are excited to even receive stickers, from us and just put them all over the place. And
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
I-
there is way more to it that gotta come.
yeah, and I think that's awesome that like you kind of are starting to work backwards with the Stone Tigers because now it's like now that you are starting to have more of a community, you are seeing the potential of growing that into a brand. And I think brands in general start with just like something that people kind of conjugate around. You know what I mean? So like with the Stone Tigers, what I really like about that community, and I'm a Stone Tiger holder now, um, is just like hopping in the Discord, like chatting with y'all. Like you have the game nights and you have the metaverse chill sessions and sometimes you do shows and stuff like that. So I guess that's what I really dig about the Stone Tigers. And I'm curious to know like what's your favorite part about like the Stone Tiger community?
Well, my favorite part is that this is the community that never existed actually before. So when I joined the space, I've been browsing around. There just wasn't a community I truly was feeling myself like myself. So I created one. So for me, it is just the fact of the existence of this idea, these values, and this community in general is what the most important. I mean, we've done just a lot of things. It's countless examples, but yeah, I just appreciate that the culture is here. What I wanted to put in that, and people truly vibe and resonate with it. I didn't say, "Hey, we're gonna go to the moon in 1 month." No, I said, "Hey, that's gonna be delivered over a course of time, and we just gotta get here. That's it." And people resonate with how we're having fun in there, all together, and they see the value in that. And yeah, this is just the beginning. So,
So the Stone Tigers was your first dev project, correct?
well, yeah, well, of course, I done a lot of testing and on the mainnet as well. But yeah, that was like my first project that I'm like, well, no, not yeah, well, it's kind of it's kind of not the first because I've done a couple other things. I helped other people, and then I created firstly the Stone Tiger surfboard. So they've been earlier, and then the Stone Tiger memes as well, which also have been like earlier than original collection. So it wasn't exactly the first, but it was like first big one where I like it's many pieces, and so everything went smooth. Like there is XYZ you need to take care of. So now I know the process. I know it works, and I know I can, set up a collection of 10K and it's going to be minting out and everything going to be all right working because it's not that I've just tested it. It is that I saw that this is all working. And now I also know other friends, developers who can help with a lot of different stuff too. So this is very cool. But yeah, it wasn't exactly the first. I think the first, yeah, was either uh, Stone Tiger surfboards or memes. I don't remember exactly, but either of these two.
So, what was your mindset behind wanting to start developing for yourself and having your own contracts and things of that nature? Like, why did you go down the development route versus like using tools that a platform might have to offer?
There wasn't any tools at that time, man.
Yeah,
Magic and Launchpad wasn't a thing.
right.
Solidity wasn't anywhere explained well yet for the Ethereum either. Then Rust and Cargo and everything related to Solana is just. I was watching the videos, the guy speaking in Chinese and writing code in English
Yeah.
to understand what's going on. So yeah, it is different amount of information, and I wanted to learn that. Well, there is a cool tools being developed right now, but if I'm going to be doing that, I'm going to do it on my own better because I know this is the proper way. I mean, I'm interacting directly with the blockchain itself through the code line. What can be better than that, right?
Yeah.
So this is a valuable experience and knowledge, I believe. Like years down the road, people will realize how much. But yeah, that's my take
Yeah.
on it.
So the Stone Tigers is on the Solana blockchain. The initial Stone Tigers 2222 is on Solana. So what made you choose Solana at the time over Ethereum? I guess is like the first question I have.
Okay, so yeah, it's the scalability and the cost for consumer. I mean, since that time, a lot changed because optimized gas contract wasn't yet a thing. It didn't exist, all right, like at all. And now that it exists, it changed the game. And then the fact that Ethereum actually opens, all the information, how they got to scale Ethereum itself, it speaks about the future that we want to build and be a part of. But then originally when we've been thinking over which blockchain to choose, Solana is the only one that's been making sense with everything that we want to do eventually. So we went for Solana. And this is actually cool that we have our main collection on Solana and that community wants now Baby Stone Tigers to be on Ethereum. This is cool because we're now going to be on more than one chain. And I believe it provides even more exposure over the course of time. I think it's going to be very beneficial in general. But then there is a complexity of the next steps on our roadmap, which was the reasoning like creating a game and etc which we gotta do, but it gotta take time, and we do one step at a time. I mentioned to everybody, so there is no exact time limit. Just within, we gotta do an X, Y, Z. So now we're working on the baby stone tigers, and then the meat token, and I mean all of that comes together eventually. So I mean, till the game, there is a lot of time. But yeah, the game being one of this aspect, but I think like well, in the best case scenario, Ethereum at this point, I believe already will be way more scalable than it is now. So, yeah, it makes sense to go further on the Ethereum, but originally the Solana is the only chain that made sense because of its capabilities. I mean, just transaction speed and transaction cost is different.
For sure.
I'm not sure if we speak about the mass adoption. Like, imagine if situation happens, but a billion people join the blockchain now, we're going to be fucked up. And
Yeah.
theoretically, Solana, currently existing, moment, the one technology that can potentially handle that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how fast the growth will happen and how fast everybody will adapt. So it's great having diversity and being on Solana. At least people not punished with the gas fees whenever they trade the NFT, and
Yeah.
it doesn't
No,
cost them a bunch in gas.
it makes perfect sense, man, because it's like when you talk to your average person about NFTs and you talk about you bring up, oh well, you have to pay on a, specifically on Ethereum at this moment in time, you're like, yeah, but I had to pay sometimes, $100, 100 US dollars or something like that to actually just buy the NFT. And it's like, for your average consumer, that's not going to compute. You're not going to understand
Yeah,
why you have to pay that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I think like blockchains like Solana and, layer twos and, there's a bunch of other blockchains out there that are definitely more like lower transactions. And I think those blockchains have definitely more potential at being the consumer blockchains, whatever you want to call them.
yeah. Well, we don't know what the future will be like, and at this point, yeah, I just like Solana ecosystem the way they're building because they develop it for the games, particularly on a big project. So it's it's not blockchain like for art like an Ethereum. It is different. It's mostly suitable for gaming. I see like Solana gonna be a huge for gaming. I'm not sure about the Avalanche. I mean, they're doing the cool stuff. They want to scale aggressively. Their subnets, which basically a layer two. I don't know why they call it different word. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, Avalanche is also cool, but I don't know if Ethereum scales and we have layer twos on Ethereum. Do we really need Avalanche with their layer twos? And I mean, Solana is just different. It's not
Mhm.
solidity based. It's very interesting what it can achieve. It's gonna be a cool
Yes,
journey.
for sure, man. And so, you talking about how you're going to be doing, the baby stone tigers potentially, or on Ethereum, as you were saying, like, what are the challenges for you as a developer to, work on Solidity versus working in, I don't know, did you do your stuff on Rust or in,
Well,
or,
you primarily everybody use the Metaplex Foundation code, which called Candy Machine. So that's what usually people use on Solana to mint the NFTs, and there's the reason because they created this golden standard where it's like hundreds of developers doing that and updating the code frequently. Or like creating your own, it's not that you can. Well, I can partially. I'm not sure I can do it perfectly. But the thing is, there is no need. I just save myself a bunch of time going using that. So people primarily use that, and then there is like things you need to customize, and then, well, depending on what you do, of course. But it mostly it's very easy. There is a good guide. Well, I call it easy. It's not very hard. And
Yeah.
then Solidity, I don't face a challenge here because at this point now there's like a lot of tools, great tools that exist. So I don't even have to write the code myself. Well, I can do that. I've been learning it too. But there is no need because there is way easier. And I'm gonna save myself, I don't know, roughly 80 hours, which is a lot. I have other things to do. Okay. So it's like no need for me. I can get optimized gas contract by trusted platform, and everything is cool. And it doesn't cost you anything. There's like a great tool as Third Web. If you
Hmm.
want to like more networking wise, then go for the 1 minute, like great launchpad. And all of these things are available for everybody. So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what's rad about like the space like now compared to like last year. It's like so many advancements have been made and it's like getting more and more easier for your average person like me or you. Like for me, for example, like I have one of ones that I have on my own Ethereum smart contract. Like last year at this time, it might have been a bit more harder for me to do that, and I might had to have had some dev experience. But now with tools like I utilize manifold.xyz, like
yeah,
that's a really
Manifold is great too.
yeah.
Yeah, good option.
So, it's just cool like the advancements being made, and I think it's only going to get easier too, which is such a weight off your back if you're really trying to have like your own contract and really be in a, conduct yourself in a decentralized manner if that's what you want to do. So it's pretty rad. But
Yeah, I mean, the question is like how serious you are, right? So,
yeah.
going further, do you think about this and that? What if like this marketplace stop existing? What's gonna happen to you, right? So you
Yeah.
cannot rely just on that. So you gotta do different things.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they're good questions to ask yourself too. And I sometimes like it may seem like overkill, like, but it's like it's a pretty valid question to ask yourself. Like, yo, like, what do you think about OpenSea? Are they going to be around in, you know, 5 years? I mean, maybe OpenSea was a bad example because OpenSea probably has more of a chance than, a platform that's just
Yeah,
popping up.
well, that's true. OpenSea is just huge, massive. Well, they need to do a lot still. I mean, this
Yeah.
one is not very good, right? Let's be honest. Magic Eden have a great potential. I've seen the Magic Eden since they've been created and launched as a platform, and their first project on the launchpad. I actually ended up meeting it, and I don't know, it's a rug pull. Doesn't matter. Eventually, like eventually. But yeah, they're not guilty in that. Okay. But I've seen Magic Eden going from like the underdog, like literally just creating their launchpad, testing it out. It wasn't a smooth experience back then. It was okay. It wasn't very smooth. I mean, that's the thing. And now they're like integrated the Ethereum as well. And I mean, Magic Eden has a great potential of like becoming a very, very big player in here, like natively, just because they brought a lot of people that understand the design, like how the people would be interacting with it, and do it pleasant experience where OpenSea doesn't care. Like it's just doesn't care. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
completely different stuff. Go to Magic Eden, you'll see. They even integrated the rarity right on the Magic Eden. Imagine the marketplace. You go to the Stone Tigers and you see the rarity of every tiger that is listed on the floor. So you can snap the best deal right here. You don't need to go anywhere else and search for that. This is not complicated integration.
Hmm.
This is easy. They just do that. Where OpenSea, I'm not sure even considering that. Like this is difference.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
I
Magic isn't gonna take off. I think like massively over the course of years they're gonna expand. It's my opinion.
Yeah. The cool thing about this space, man, is there's so much potential to be like a platform could come up and do something that everyone loves and flip a platform that you think would have been, around for a while. So I don't know. We're still so early, but I wanted to touch on the term that you brought up for maybe someone who's listening who doesn't get some terminology. You said rug pull. So
Yeah, and this is funny.
can you
Yeah,
tell us
well,
can you
this
tell
is
us what a
how
rug
we
pull
this is
is?
how we call scam in the crypto space. Well, when somebody fooling you on money, but then there is different kinds of rug pulls. It's important to understand as well. There is like a slow rug pull, and then there is just a regular rug pull. So the regular the difference gonna be, well, the regular one, if you get rugged, it usually happens like after the minute right away. The slow rug pull is like, hey, we're gonna do A, we're gonna do B, and then we're gonna fuck you, which is way worse. And I mean, yeah, basically just bad things that you're not supposed to buy, projects that are not gonna get you anything, but they will get your money. This is what the rug pull is. There's different kinds of them, but yeah, this is primarily. I have a piece of art called rug pull. This is the latest I released.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm actually speaking of that, and there is like the white door in the end of the tunnel thing we cannot hear in the video, so everybody sees. Like, yeah, I called it the rug pull because, I mean, this is how I would visualize that. Like everything is on fire, it's a mess, it's fucking scary, but you see like this bright door as a min button which you want to click. God knows where it leads, but it's your decision, right? Yeah, so I try to show that and explain in my art too. But yeah, that's what rug pull is. It's basically a scam.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I appreciate the insight because I think there's a lot of terms that some people might not quite understand, and that's you know that's definitely a term that is it's kind of a funny term, but also like not a funny term when it happens to you, you know.
Yeah, well, it happens to everybody,
Oh,
I
for
believe.
sure. I think it's just kind of like a if you're involved with the NFT blockchain crypto space, eventually you're going to find yourself in a situation in some way, shape, or form where you get rug pulled for sure. I mean, I think it's all happened
Yeah.
to the best of us.
Well, that's important to be careful and like having different wallets set up. I mean, having different wallets is good, is not a bad thing. So yeah, I mean, I don't mint from my wallet, which I'm using obviously, like to connect to the opens because it's different. So yeah, I mean, I have a different wallets for that, and I have also a ledger where I'm like storing stuff that need to be stored over a course of like years. Um, this is important. So yeah, everybody get a ledger. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to find the ledger, you just search ledger and you'll find it on Google. Very easy, and gonna protect you and your ass from bad things happening. Very bad.
Yeah, no, I think that's phenomenal advice specifically for newer people who want to get involved with the NFT space and start doing, interacting with blockchain technology. I think the number one thing you should be considering is, how are you conducting yourself, when it comes to wallet security, when it comes to interacting with websites and I think going down the route of a hardware wallet, specifically Ledger, and obviously I have no affiliation with Ledger, um, is the way to go for sure. So I'm curious to know though, man. Like, yeah, what was your first NFT?
Well, this is a sad. Well, I don't know. My first one, I think it was aliens something. I don't know. Aliens, some
Do you
sort of
do you still
aliens.
have it?
Um, I think yeah, on one of my wallets. I think I do because it just never cared.
Yeah.
Um, the sad thing is that I wanted to buy Bored Ape when they've been like $200, but I thought it's stupid to pay for the gas fee that much. I didn't do it. The Bored Ape cost way, way above $200 now. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean it happens to the best of us. I think I've
yeah,
definitely
this is
heard.
okay. I will
Yeah.
eventually get one, right? So I'll get myself a mutant another day. Well, if somebody watches and you have a mutant, send one to me. Um, I'm not gonna flip it though. I'm really gonna move it to my ledger. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool, man. So let me ask you this. What does it mean to you for someone to collect your NFT? Like, what does it mean to be collected?
mean to be collected? Well, I don't know. Somebody appreciates you or appreciate your art or appreciate your story. Um, this is cool when somebody collects from you. This is a great feeling, of course, because somebody appreciates what you create. And this is very important to understand that, the people invest not just because of the art, but because of the you. They believe in you, kind of a person, to buy the NFT from you, because we're not speaking of traditional art. So I appreciate it when people do that. I mean, yeah, many of my pieces have been collected. Um, very many.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, there is
So
the list one once again called the Rockfall, so everybody can check it out. I don't know. It's
hell yeah,
beautiful.
man. So I want to get into your art and how you create. I know you're very prominent with like talking about not necessarily gearing it towards your the Stone Tigers, but more gearing it towards you as an artist. And I know you use AI to create a lot of your art, which is like I think really cool. And I really dig some of the AI art that you create. Like I love the Angels of the Devil collection that you have.
Oh, this is Legendary Collection. It was
Yeah.
showcased on the NFT and UIC as well. Yeah.
That's all. Dude, I didn't even know that. Wait, so it was
Yeah.
actually showcased at NFT
Yeah.
NYC?
It was, yeah.
That's dope, man. Wait, where was it showcased?
On the Samsung big screens.
Dude, that's so sick.
Yeah.
Did you go or no?
No, I wasn't there. And I got to know about it after the NFT UIC was over, because one of the guys told me, and I was like, what? Yeah, I didn't know.
That's
It's just,
awesome.
I have too much work. I did that and that and that, and I even forgot about it. And yeah, like gets me there, and I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know. I got there. So yeah, it's been cool too.
That's rad, man. Yo, so how do you come up with your AI prompts? Like when you're coming up with your AI prompts, what's going through your head? You know what I mean?
Um, well, it depends. Well, there is important thing to understand is like you talk to the machine, not to the human, but to machine. And this is different. You're like yellow, blue bus without the roof, comma, I don't know, sliding in heaven, comma, with the snow on the top of the mountain, comma, purple color scheme, and then a bunch of other stuff which you want to be in there. I don't know, like I have no idea. It's important to understand that you talk not to human but to machine, and then yeah, I just, well, depends what I want to see, of course. I mean, I've used a lot of different prompts, but there is like, let's say if you use like Stable Diffusion, Disco Diffusion, or I don't know, other AIs of this sort, there is the way to put the base, and then you can use AI and skip a certain amount of steps, let's say 50%. So this line is actually kept in there, and then on the top of them, something else produced, which is super cool. And then you use the prompt to actually add the particular image to the kind of simplistic, how to say, sketch you've done before, to actually fill it up. So let's say you see the room. Well, basically the lines for it were already created, and then what the AI does is just it fills up, because I write that this is like, like sort of a hole and etc. Well, whatever it is, I write that, and then it produces the image, and then you go through like, I don't know. It's very depends, but I would say like 500 images. Then you pick up the best ones, and then you go to the Photoshop and do them something else.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, this is like a process. Well, and there is different ways. If you just want to create a beautiful picture and write a prompt, and you're good to go. Yeah, but if you want to create like a really something interesting, you gotta like work a little bit more on that. This is exciting.
Yeah. So how long I mean, does it differ for how long it takes you for each piece? Like, or like, does it
It
take
does.
yeah.
it does. Of course, it's very dependent on the piece and how fast I'm getting the result I want, because there's like sort of vision I have and I want to get that. And then if I don't get that, I'm trying to get that. So it takes time. But yeah, some can produced way faster. Well, not all of them are the same expensive, like as well. So let's say I have creatures from AI Forest. Well, it was way faster. I've spent probably like 12 hours creating 8 of them. Well, it's still a time, right? But it's not a week or two. Um, it's been easier, but they also super cool, right? And I want to put them on the blockchain, but I don't want to be selling them for a lot because I didn't put as much effort into it. So they are at 0.02 Ethereum. That's the reason why. And then, of course, like my latest piece, I'm producing, I'm putting it like you can start an auction at zero point 0.1 and by now price at 0.2. And I think this is completely fair for what I'm putting into that. In the short, not that distant future, the price for my works are not going to be the same. So yeah,
I think
it's
that's an
cool.
interesting. Oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, it's just cool to be collecting while it's not that expensive, because before it was even cheaper. But yeah, as we go
Yeah.
further, it will be not.
Oh, for sure. And so I think that's an interesting topic. Like, how do you price your work?
Well, I have no clue. There is a question like about affordability and your time spent. Well, what do you want to do? Who are the people you want to be collected by? So, if you're starting out and you want to build like a genuine engagements around you, like a community, these people are not going to collect the work from you for half Ethereum, right? But they can collect for 0.02. That's what I'm saying. Um, and then if you've been here for a year, there's like, I don't know, 100 collectors following you, which is the case with many that have been here long, right? Um, these people want to see your art appreciating and not devaluing, so they don't really want to see it like being selling too cheap because they already value it. So you can sell it at more expensive price. What you can do best is offer an auction. Set like the starting price that you're not accepting anything below that, and here we go. You set the auction, and yeah, and that's the best way. And because there is no certain answer to that, because it's a question like how much somebody got to pay the moment they see it. So yeah, it's like what you want minimum for your work you put in, like what the minimum you want.
Hmm.
That's the question, and that usually answers. So if you know what the minimum you want for that, then the people can appreciate it and find their own maximum for it too. Then you can just start with this minimum again and see what goes with the next one. And if it appreciates even more and more, then yeah, you got to put the price up. So that's the thing.
Yeah, man. That makes sense. And I think like you were saying, like giving people like a good entry point to support you, is a really good way to try to start getting collectors, I feel like, because it's like you said, then like, once you're building more and you've been here longer and you have more collectors and you have more demand, that's when maybe you can get a little bit more for the work. But like you said, also, it also really just depends on how you feel about it, how much work you put into it, and what's the least amount of, ETH or, money you're willing to let it go for. Cause like I've seen people who have come into this space who have sold stuff for zero point 0.5 or like an ETH, and it's like their first sale. So it's like it's different for everyone, really.
Yeah, well, it depends on art as well. Yeah, of course it does, and who you are in general in the real world. But yeah, I mean, the stories are different. But if you started with a community, remember these people often don't have much money, but it doesn't mean they don't want to support. That's why Tesla's taking off as a blockchain, and collecting art there is actually very cool and easy. And it's very affordable price. Um, and the people understand that that's the place where community can support you. And it's the same like selling your work as a one-on-one, let's say 0.1 ETH, or selling let's say 150 editions for 1 pesos of the same artwork. It's the same amount of money. But now 150 people can support you and afford it because they have $2, get the same money, but they don't have 150. But it doesn't mean they don't want to support you. So this is important. This is actually a very cool blockchain. Yeah, I know many people collecting there. I'm collecting there. I have a bunch of NFTs on Tezos, to be honest, the ones I collected, like a lot. And then my friends sending me more as well. So yeah.
Nice. That's cool, man. I have a Tezos account as well. I haven't minted on Tezos yet, but
Yeah,
I
I don't know why my Tezos wallet lately just not working. I've been trying to, I actually was thinking to drop like one work on Tezos so other people could, get my work at maybe like a Tezos because maybe they don't have enough even for the gas fee and for being a holder of Stone Tigers. Who knows? It's also like averages of like $15-20. Well, not everybody has that. Maybe on Tezos, if it's just $2 for them by one edition of me, it's cool. And then I can like just do, let's say, I don't know, 420 editions 1 week. Everything that's not sold, I will just burn. Here we go. I will see how it goes. But I don't know. My Tezos wallet been working very bad, and I want to release something on Tezos because I want to collect more on Tezos. So I just need Tezos to collect. I don't really mind about like pesos just being completely spent, where with Ethereum I'm trying to save it. So yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah, man, and it's like you definitely get more bang for your buck, collecting on Tezos. I think and like you were saying too, like the experience of collecting like is almost funner when you can collect more. Like, yeah, it's great if you have like, maybe 0.05 ETH and you grab a piece, but then it's like, okay, like, but I want more, and that's where maybe you could put 50 or $100 on Tezos or, go to Object and start, interacting with that website and the artist there and building there as well. So I definitely think it's like a multi-chain experience. I don't think like one chain is going to win over another. Like I definitely think there's a place for all these chains to live together in harmony. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they're good for different things. Object very good for editions. I don't really understand people that releasing one-on-ones on Object because I think for that you better use Ethereum. Well, it's my take. But yeah, editions on Tezos is just great. I don't think so. It's like as good to make editions on Ethereum as on Tezos. Maybe one day I will. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I have no clue what works, guys. Try it out. Try everything out. Let me know what works best for you because I have no idea.
That's good
I
advice though. I dig it.
yeah.
It really is because it's like, dude, you know, yeah, maybe you made some money or maybe you saw someone do really well, but at the end of the day, like everyone's just trying all this technology out and
Yeah,
experimenting,
exactly.
you know? And that's the fun part about it. It's like we're all here and we're all trying to figure this shit out together. And, you know, some things are going to stick, some things aren't going to stick. There's going to be a lot of losses, but there's also going to be a lot of lessons learned. And through those lessons, we can kind of try to, build, to the future with the information that we're learning. Um, so let me ask you this. What what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned being in the space so far? Kind of a kind of a big question, but
I have no idea.
right
Well,
on.
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, well, be yourself and be consistent. I don't know, be more of yourself. It's important, and I will explain. I gave this advice to several people, explaining what exactly I mean. I'm not gonna tell you here, guys. If you want that, I'm gonna create a course at some point. You can pay. But yeah, once I share this information with somebody, because I mean, I saw they trying, but I don't get like a good amount of just a regular engagement on Twitter, which is important. I went and I speak and I explained what this person can do. 2 days, this person was doing just that. There is X 4 times amount of engagement on the profile of 1,000 followers, which is crazy. So yeah, there's a certain things you can do better. Just be consistent, be yourself. This is the most important. And from there, yeah, I mean, you can make a big event since day one if you want.
Hell yeah, man. I dig that. And that totally answers the question I was going to ask after, which is what advice would you have for an artist? But you totally answered that.
Yeah, I mean, the advice would be get a Stone Tiger NFT, get in the voice chat in the morning, ask me questions if you want to know more, because I have 1 hour allocated just to answering the community questions. But then, yeah, at some point I'm going to create like kind of not the course, but I want to do a consultation with me because everybody is different, obviously. So I want to do a consultation time with me, but for let's say half an hour would be 0.3 ETH, and then 1 hour would be 0.05. So
Hmm.
it makes sense for me to spend 1 hour, like maybe once or twice a week for that. Yeah, I want to do that at some point because I know it can help a lot of people. In past I was sharing that for free. Nobody wanted much. Now I just don't have time to be sharing that for free. So yeah, I mean, people want to get this knowledge, you can get it, and
Of
nobody's
course.
stopping you. Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, that's awesome, man. And I think like someone like you who's a little bit has a little bit more experience in the space could provide some really valuable information to someone who is trying to learn the ropes of how to operate in this space because it is a different playing field. And I think having, insight from someone who has, some success and some experience here is super valuable. So that's really cool, man. When do you have that going now, or when do you plan on getting that going?
And well, yeah, I don't have it going out just now. I still need to see about my schedule. So then I will just add it eventually to my website. My website is someoneyounknow.com. It's in my bio in Twitter. Like I have all the artworks there. I'm gonna be integrating all my drops on the same website. So any of the mints that I'm gonna be doing in particular, like of my one-on-one art, not the one that listed on the foundation, but the ones that I'm like releasing, let's say 10 NFTs or whatever, they're going to be down on this website, the same website. And this is like a portfolio where you can see all the collections I have. You can see all my socials as well. I mean, you can go to my Instagram, to my Twitter, everywhere you want. Like it's all there. So yeah, I will just add there the registration field for like 1 or 2 times a week, depending on what time I will allocate to that. And yeah, it will be all on my website eventually. So that's it.
Tight, man. And I have to ask you this. Where did your Twitter handle come from? Someone you know?
Well, it came from my Instagram. It's been a long time. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know. I have Instagram, Twitter, OpenSea, Foundation. I own dot ETH. I own dot NFT. I own dot com. It's like all happen naturally. I'm just I don't know. That's it.
Nice, man. No, I
An
dig it.
object, I'm also someone, by the way, and an object people too can follow me.
Nice, man. Um, did you want to like I definitely have a few more questions, but like did you want to like was there anything that you wanted to bring up that I haven't mentioned yet, or like anything you want to, talk about, or was there anything on your mind that you
Well,
also wanted to get out there?
not really, because I can like lead people into like very deep conversation out of non-essential points. So I would say only that, yeah, keep an eye on the Stone Tigers and on my Twitter. Set the notification bell on both. This is like important. So you see my interactions, you see my tweets, you interact back with them. To be honest, I wanted to say that the most of my following comes from my stupid tweets. So being yourself on Twitter is very important. There is about 100 people a day that follows me, and every single day, and it happens because of the tweets I write, not because of anything else. So be yourself. It's very important.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal advice because I think it's easy to get caught up in just like trying to be something you're not. And it's like, I think people are going to relate to you more if you're just yourself. Like, and what's cool about you is like, I'm always seeing you like, share stuff and retweeting stuff and like interacting with the community. And it's like, I feel like I know you more because of like even your Twitter feed and like the stuff you collect, and like obviously we've been like interacting with each other for like a decent amount of time now. So it's like it's just cool to see like someone start and then like not that I saw you right when you started, but like from when I met you to now, it's like you've been doing so much, and I'm like super excited to see like where you take everything that you're doing. Cause like I don't know, man. I dig what you do and I see a lot of cool shit that you're doing. I'm just like stoked for you.
Well, yeah, that's just the beginning because I wanted to build a big brand before I got into the NFTs, and now that we just have community and NFTs, I have two brands that now I'm just gonna keep scaling and building. That's it. Someone, in 1 year from now is gonna be well above 50,000 followers. Um, yeah, I mean, the art at this point, I believe will be selling for over one Ethereum price. I don't know really for sure, but I assume that's gonna be the way. And then, everything that I do in regards of Stone Tigers is just the beginning because I'm going to bring it all to the masses. I just target everyone in the specific regions. I don't care if these people are in NFTs or not, but they eventually will realize that this is the brand based on the NFT, and the true value comes from owning that, not just buying, let's say, clothing or other things that you might like, but actually from being a holder of the NFT. And eventually it will result in way bigger results than people may think it will. So I'm not in here to build completely Web3 business. It's not that. I want to build a community, a valuable project that have value outside of the NFT. It's cool to be in NFTs, but this is not like the thing we shall be focused on only. If we want to onboard another 10,000 people to our community, of course, we can do it through the NFT industry, but it would be way more value if we bring people from outside. So yeah, and eventually, we got to be a brand that has over 100,000 followers. Like, and many people know it all around the globe, not just the NFT space. This is coming, and that's what I want to do. So I just have a big game plan in my head long time ago, and we're just getting there. That's it. Like step by step. Every day we're closer. That's
Hell
it.
yeah, man. Nah, man. I mean, I dig everything you just said. And I think it really is about the community and the brand first. And while the NFT matters, it's not like, yeah, it matters, but it's not the end all be all for how you're going to grow, and how you're going to, operate and, conduct yourself. So I don't know. That's like phenomenal insight, man. And like, as far as the interview goes, like I appreciate you taking the time to just chill out and just like I said, I just like it. I now have more insight as to who you are, and hopefully, more people who watch this will be like, "Yo, I know Victor," but after this interview, maybe they're like, "Oh shit, I know Victor even more." And my bad if I is it cool if I say your name, or I can cut that out,
Yeah,
or
yeah, of course, of course.
okay,
That's
because I
fine.
I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, my name is Victor. I'm fully doxxed at this point. I mean, if you really want to find out, like the people can go and dig the company name of Stone Tigers, and then like find everything basically. It's not complicated. It's just, do you need that?
yeah,
Yeah, so I'm fully doxxed. I don't mind. If you will search my full name on Google, you'll probably find the results of some competitions of the swimming in the past, because I actually a professional swimmer, and
really,
yeah, I am, and I'm a great surfer too. I also passed twice the courses of the lifeguard, so I can actually save people who are drowning. And yeah, I've been doing professional swimming for many years. Just wanted to achieve what I wanted to achieve. I achieved that. I hated the club. I hated the trainer of the particular group I was in. So I just didn't want to go any more further. And I mean, I've been working on other things. Obviously, now I do NFTs, and yeah, I still love swimming. I love surfing. I'm living in Portugal, so I can go any day there is a waves. I have my surfboard and all of that stuff too. So yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. And like, dude, we're gonna meet in Portugal and we're gonna have a surf session for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I mean, I love surfing. This is a lot of fun always. And, yeah,
Tight.
I love the moment where you're like playing and the waves just spinning you up, and then you just look in the middle of nowhere and sun is burning you a little bit. Hey, amazing, great. And then you catch the wave and you enjoy the moment, and then you swim and struggle again. It's very funny.
Hell yeah, man. Yo, so obviously like I'm gonna wind it down a little bit, but yo, I'm curious to know like when did you first actually go out to Portugal?
Well, I was living here. Um, what was that? I was living there for like 1.5, a little over that, almost 2 years. And then I decided to quit my job, and I went from the Portugal back to Estonia because of that. And then I eventually came back here, which was in spring, I think. Yeah, it was in spring, so I came here in Portugal and I'm living here again. Yeah.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love Portugal in general. Great country, great vibe. I suggest everybody to visit and I don't know, move here. It's a great country and 0% tax on crypto gains as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
That's
great to be living here now.
hell yeah, man. Yeah, I see like you posting sometimes of like chilling like outside in Portugal, and I'm like, yo, like
Yeah,
it's so
the thing
beautiful.
is, I see the statue of the Christ from my balcony, and then I see also a copy of the bridge of San Francisco from my balcony directly. I don't even need to go anywhere. It's like I can go smoke a cigarette there, and that's it. Very cool. Yeah, I mean it's just beautiful all over the place. So yeah,
Yo, so a few more quick questions and then we could close it up because I want to be
yeah.
mindful of your time. So yo, what are your thoughts on like the NFT space right now as a whole?
It is actually funny, but while people think that we're like in kind of an FC bear market and that we need to get out of it, there is more and more and more people every single day. And we're speaking about the real people that joining and not understanding shit, that are artists and want to create art and want to understand what the hell is NFTs. They just truly want to learn, and every day there is more and more of these people. So eventually there's going to be a point where and we're gonna start exploding again. So we're like in the moment where nobody yet understands because there is no high, but the trend is going up of amount of people in there, like active people on a daily basis. I don't mean just the wallet addresses, transactional. I'm speaking about the people, and I think yeah, more and more people joining, and we're gonna see more and more of that. And as it go further, that's gonna be a very exciting time because yeah, well, it's still super early, but there is way more now than there was like a years ago. And now you like can research all these cool projects, you can find the very cool ones before, well, there anything was dropping was selling. So this is a big difference. Now we have diversity and we can separate shit from something good. Before it was all shit. So yeah, we're like the pregnant woman that already actually did the test and know she's pregnant and already been puking a few times. So it's not that she just got pregnant where she doesn't yet realize it. So that's where we are at now. So we're not even yet the born baby, which I see the born baby to be like about maybe 3 years from now. So it's like we're super early and yeah, it's just gonna take off massively in one moment. I assume the 3 years is gonna be like where it will hit the masses like very strong, and then from there we never go back. But till that, it will be like steadily growing. There's gonna be ups and downs that we gotta call bear market and bull markets, where I don't even care. I mean, I don't care what a crypto is doing with their valuations. I don't care what the NFT is doing because It's like they're connected. When the ETH goes up, NFTs go down because people want to get liquid and sell their NFTs and sell their ETH for profit. And when ETH is down, everybody accumulating ETH and buying NFTs, where NFTs goes on prices because of that. So it's like they usually correlate this way. Eventually, it will also not work anymore. So yeah, it's a very cool time. Pregnant woman, that's where we are. Thank you. I mean, that's what I can say, right?
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it, man. I mean, I think like, the reality of the situation is it's like it's a breath of fresh air like being in this space right now because it's like how it was when crypto was going through the roof and there was a new mint every 5 minutes, you know what I mean? And it's like, dude, it was
Yeah,
so
there is probably right now mint every 5 minutes.
you know
So
what I
it's
mean though,
it's
like
it's not that it was, it still is. I mean,
yeah, but like I
it's
feel like
crazy.
it was harder to like sift through the bullshit and it's like a
Yeah.
little bit easier now because it's like there isn't as much liquidity and it's like causing you to see people for maybe a bit who they really are, not necessarily like to the like crazy extent of like, oh, I know you for who you are because you left, or more so like, oh, like this person's doing this and they're continuously building. They don't really like, for you it's like, yo, you don't give a shit like whether ETH goes left, right, up, down, and like seeing that makes me like fuck with you even harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's just at this point, Ethereum is not at the top, it's not at the bottom. I cannot tell you buy or sell. I don't care even of that. I'm just accumulating. And I'm accumulating not by buying or selling it. Okay. I'm accumulating by trading NFTs and selling NFTs and buying NFTs. That's how I use my Ethereum. So we're not the same if you're just buying it. And if you're just buying it, consider using it too. It can be very beneficial. I don't know. I've been saying a couple of days ago, buy rich foxes. They are like at the very thin floor. There's been people that bought the rich fox at 0.03 Ethereum doing an offer, and right now they're again at 0.08, 0.09. So this is all the profit. I mean, this is the Ethereum you could use, right? I mean, it's just watch the trends, see the valuable community. Sometimes you don't even have to actually go and be lucky with the memes and etc. You can just go and watch the floor of the cool projects that are not like super expensive. Rich Fox Club is not like worth, millions of dollars at this point yet. So you can buy one for like 100 something and sell for 200 something. Go learn. It's just you don't even have to rely on the lucky mints if you want. Yeah, but it's no need. Like there's way more to it. I mean, you can buy Stone Tigers right now, do Forex in the next 2 months. I mean, it costs you literally $10 to buy one. I don't know if you don't have one, it's like on you. I
Yeah.
don't give financial advices, nothing, but I mean, you don't have to be lucky with a means even. That's
Hell yeah,
it.
man. Right on, man. Well, yo, man, like I said, I appreciate you coming, taking your time to, just kind of come on and just chat. And
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me.